So we're waiting on Donovan. And if you're not in this live, you'll want to watch it for sure because I'm in South North Carolina. I don't know where I'm at. Raleigh, North Carolina. And I'll show you the shop in another video because Donovan has so many Christmas lights out here, it's not even funny. And so Dave is here, stopped by today. And I'm not going to give too much because I want to wait for Donovan over here to quit pecking on his phone so he can get it going live on Facebook. But I want to hit on how you can start a Christmas light business and make 55 grand your first year off of just YouTube. You know, I put a lot of videos out on this channel, and that's why I do it, is so that I can help you start and grow. And so this is what we're going to talk a little bit about. Davis's journey last year of how he got to 55,000 his very first year. Can you believe that? 55,000 very first year. He didn't even come to an in-person training. And I know a lot of people don't always come to in-person training. They either do the online training or they do YouTube training. And both work awesome. And that's why I put all the information out there. If you're willing to go out there and do the work and make it happen, it can happen. So with that, we are live in the Facebook contractors group too, so I hope you can hear me over there. But if you can hear me, throw me some thumbs up in the Facebook so I can see it come across the camera there. But again, as I was saying, we're going to talk to Davis about how he did 55,000 his very first year off of YouTube, learning all off of YouTube. And so I know I put a lot of videos out and help people, but we're waiting on him to come over here. But and if you have any questions, I'm probably not going to get to them, but Donovan, he'll be here too. Here he comes. But what? Oh, Donovan's got to get dressed up for the show. He's got to be all special. He's special, all right? Special.
I just need to change out my pants. Oh, man.
So tell us a little bit about who are you and where are you from?
So this is the casting couch.
And he's the master fluffer. Davis is like, it's time to go.
It's time to go. Thanks for the order, Donovan.
I'll never see you again.
I'll just have it shipped next time.
Yeah, I'll just have it shipped next time. Oh, man. So what's your story? Tell us a little bit about yourself, wife, kids, dog, cat.
I am married. I have one kid. He's 15 months now. We live in Charleston, South Carolina. And last year, late summer, my job ended and I was looking for something else. Always wanted to start my own business, do my own thing. So went down a bunch of rabbit holes on YouTube, came across some different options, looked at pressure washing for a while, but literally had no money to invest at the time. Then came across Christmas lights and thought it was a good idea. So I ordered some yard signs and ordered some lights, put it all on my credit card, and just went for it. And
So on your regular job, how much was you making there? Like 15, 20 bucks an hour, or was you making more than that?
yeah, it was decent. I was electrical engineering but like 30, 35.
So you were making 60, 70 grand a year
Yeah.
full time as your full time job before this.
Yeah.
So was that a big hard thing well, obviously you said you didn't like your boss no more and didn't want to work there, but what was that the main driver of you wanted something different?
Wait. Timothy made a good point. I don't want to.
Donovan not eating.
I don't even know whose French fries those are.
Yeah, it was a tough call, especially, I mean, at that point my baby was 3 months old and had bought a house the year before, so there were bills coming in that I had to pay. But I had applied to a few positions and just wasn't having much luck, and I thought I kind of need something right now, so just go for it.
So
Now,
when
what did you do for this past year after the season ended?
I did mostly handyman work. I did a couple of landscape lighting jobs, mostly for my Christmas light customers.
Mhm.
I just told them that I do it. And
Have you had you ever run your own business before last year, or you always worked a job?
always worked a job.
So how scary was that? Brand new house, brand new kid, laid off, or job disappeared, and you got very little money and just have to figure it out.
It was scary. I mean, I knew I had a little fallback on my family if the worst came to worst.
Yep.
But yeah, obviously I didn't want to go down that road.
Did you have to move in with mom and dad?
No.
Oh, thank
they
God.
live. They're up in North Dakota. So
Okay.
I did not want to go back up there.
Yeah, yeah. So now, how confident are you running your own business today? And then, would you ever go back to working a job, the right job?
I don't think I'll ever go back. Yeah, I feel pretty comfortable with it. I still have a lot to learn, I know, especially when I get to the point where I need to start hiring people full time.
Yep.
Especially in the seasonal business, I feel like I still need to figure something out there. But I have 2 or 3 guys who have enough time to help me out on the side, so that's what I've been doing, and it's been working out.
Awesome. Clint, you make $100,000 your first year, we'll fly you here. But $100,000 ain't enough for me to fly out to you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, but you make $100,000, we'll fly you here for an interview. What's the goal for this year? I know we mentioned it. You don't have like a set goal, but you do have a
Yeah.
minimum, right?
Yeah, my minimum is 125.
How are you going to accomplish that?
So I've already collected deposits from 85% of my previous clients.
I think
Well-
I've said that before. You get 80% return back.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you've already collected them? So it
Yeah.
means you already have. So you didn't have to put all this on a credit card. What you just picked up.
Right.
So your business paid for your business. And here's another thing. You may have already mentioned it, but when did you start last year? When did you make that decision to start?
Made the decision around this time, mid-October.
So now, if you make the decision today on this live, I'm going to go for it. There's the potential of making at least $55,000 because you did it.
Yeah.
And you paid us how much for training? You came out, you flew out for training, right? And all that.
YouTube.
YouTube, right? Right. So the Facebook group and YouTube, right?
Yeah.
So it can be done. Did you hang customers' lights? What was the service that you offered? Did you sell lights to the clients? What all did you do?
Yeah, I did I offered leasing if they specifically didn't want to purchase, but
Okay.
my main model was all-in-one service: purchase, install, maintenance, removal, storage.
Okay. Very cool.
Did you do around windows,
I
indoors?
did not do any of that.
So
Did you do icicles?
No, I
So you
How many
must-
mini lights did you do?
a lot of mini lights.
A lot of mini lights.
But you didn't glue around windows and still made 55 grand. You didn't do icicles and still made 55 grand. There's
Yeah.
reasons why I tell you, why are you putting them around windows and doing icicles? Other than they make beautiful pictures. But if you show those beautiful pictures, then other people want you to do them too.
Did you do reefs or garland or greenery, anything like that?
I did not. There was one of my best clients who wanted some garland, so I got that for him. But
So you stuck to roof line and mini lights.
yeah,
What'd you make most of your money off of? Mini lights or roof line?
it was pretty close, probably
50-50?
50-50.
Did you have any callbacks?
No.
No callbacks. Where'd you get your lights from?
You guys?
Professional quality lights, no callbacks, year one,
Yeah, it was awesome.
right? So my first year, I started probably mid-November, and I only did maybe 20 grand. And I got the C9 for the roof line. I knew that. I think I ordered maybe 4 or 5 of the Sam's Club wreaths and put those up. Got those sold, and then the mini lights. I didn't know that there's the difference between professional grade. I thought like you have LED and incandescent. So I went to Home Depot and bought. I bought all my mini lights from Home Depot, and I swear to God, within 2 weeks, 50% of them had failed. And then I kept going back out for mini lights. I was like, I hate these things. And then somebody was like, well, that's because you're an idiot, Donovan. You bought it from Home Depot. I'm like, I paid like $18 a strand for these. They're like, so, better quality, no callbacks, get them professional grade. And in year 2, 100% of those lights had died. When I went to reinstall, reuse them the following year, all of them were dead. So that is awesome. Now, what did you do to get your first few clients?
Yard signs. That's all I did for all of my clients.
What? You did $55,000 and he didn't even put all his yard signs out, did you?
No.
How many
All
yard
right,
signs
now,
did you put out?
I'm going to put a preference on this. This is unusual.
I don't know if it's unusual or not. I had a guy in Denver do over $120,000 off of 30 yard signs that he put out because he didn't even put them all out because he got so busy.
30 yards. How many did you put out?
Probably 25.
25
Yeah.
yard signs. So you didn't put out 5,000 yard signs.
Right.
Did you get any referrals?
One, I think.
Okay.
So you literally got them all off of yard signs.
Yeah.
And so half of them stayed up. The other half got taken down right away.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there was one yard sign in particular that got me probably 70% of my business.
Have you gone back out there? Is a yard sign in the same spot right now?
Not yet.
What? All right. Cut off the light. All right, look. When you go back home, you better put a yard sign in that
And if
spot.
they take it down every
And
week, you
every
put it right
week you
back
go
up.
right back out. If they send you a $500 fine, you better just say, all right, here's $1,000.
Yeah,
Let
put
me
it
know
back
when
out.
that runs out. Put that yard sign back out there. Hey, wait. Don't do that, but just tell them, where was that sign at? You can just tell them.
Money bushes, man. Money bushes turn into money trees.
What'd your yard sign look like?
Pretty basic. I just used a template off of, I don't even remember what site, UZ Marketing maybe.
Okay.
Professional Christmas lights, phone number, website.
But wait a minute. How can you be professional when you were just starting out?
And the only way you got
Lights.
materials is by maxing out your credit card, right?
And the only way you learned was from YouTube. I didn't think you could be a professional if you were just learned it off YouTube.
Well, Jason, you and I are only teaching all the low ballers. We're ruining the industry.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't teach people their very first year who average $2,000 tickets. That
Right.
just doesn't happen.
Right.
So obviously, we're joking around, being a little sarcastic, but we really just want to let people know it can be done.
Mhm.
I did it. You did it. You did it without paying us a dime. You know what I mean? You don't have to come to training. Like, we got a couple of guys coming this weekend, and I'll be honest with you, like, they had to make a decision how they're going to come up with those funds. It's not a requirement. Jason and I aren't doing this because we want to sell training. We sell training to support the new people. Like, I guarantee you, here's another hint. Okay? Jason and I make more money than what we make doing training. Like, I'm not trying to be rude or anything like that. We're not doing this to sell product or to sell. I sell product out of a necessity because we developed the group and so many people started asking for the product. If Jason and I didn't have this, didn't have people come to training, didn't have people buying product, I promise you, we'd still be doing very, very, very well. Top percentage of income earners in the U.S. So, awesome.
Yeah.
You got any questions for me? What can we help you with?
What CRM did you use?
I don't have one yet.
What? You didn't even have a CRM and did $55,000?
All right.
Oh
all right.
my God. Let me guess. Donovan's going to go with Jobber. Come on, we got to get to Jobber.
Before you leave, we're signing you up for
I
Did you use yard books at least or something that at least is free?
How do you keep track of your clients' information?
folders on my computer? It's rough, yeah, I know.
But it works, right?
All right,
That's
no,
what
no,
I
no,
wanted.
no.
It works.
No, I
does
challenge
work.
you to go ahead and do this season and hit 125 without a CRM. I can predict the future, people. Before the end of this year's up, he's going to have some sort of software to run his business.
Yes.
How did you answer the phone or email? How were people primarily contacting you? Text message, phone call, email?
Primarily phone.
Okay.
Maybe 25% off my website.
Okay.
Like a
Yep.
request a quote on there.
Okay. Fancy website? Did you pay a lot for it?
I made it myself. Paid whatever, $11
Okay.
for the
Okay.
domain.
$11 for a website.
love it.
All right.
I love
55 grand off $11 website and $30 worth of yard signs.
But Jason, but Donovan, you can't get that in my area.
When you answer the phone, what is that conversation? How come people would give you $2,000-3,000 your first year? Like, what does that conversation sound like?
I don't know why they did either, but I'm still flushing it out. Like it changes a little bit every time, but basically I ask what they're looking for. More and more recently, I've been giving them a minimum price to try to not waste too much time.
Yep.
But then I tell them what we're all about, how we're an all-in-one service. We provide the lights, do the install, maintenance, removal, and storage.
Let me mute my phone. Sorry, notifications. Sorry, guys. I always forget to do that. Hopefully that helps.
A whole bunch of thing in there.
Bang, they're like, it's so loud. It's like notifications. The notifications acting like the notifications are so loud.
Sorry.
But yeah, that's about it. And then when I send the quote, I send just a line item quote for the different things.
Yeah, you don't have a CRM, so how did you convey to them what? Well, let's go back. So you said you started out with doing a small pre-qualification. Hey, here's our minimum price, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many phone calls did you get to land those 30 jobs? How many leads?
Maybe 70.
50%. Okay.
Close to 50,
Um, So you pre-qualified them. Did that immediately weed out those other 50%? So everybody you quoted say yes, or what? What was that? How many did you weed out on saying this is our minimum price? What percentage do you think?
Maybe 10%.
Okay.
Not that many, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you sent the quote,
Yeah.
and then the other 40%
How did
said no to the
how did
quote.
you send a quote being that you didn't use no CRM? Did you just do like a
Yeah.
Word document and then put a picture of their house, or you just did a Word document with line item?
Word document that I print as a PDF, and then I do like a screen capture of their house and mock up.
So you did do a little bit of a design.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A bunch of different line items, or did you say front of the house, or how? What did your quote look like?
Depending on what they were asking for, we do a lot of trees, and that people ask for a lot of trees. So, broke out by tree. Like if it's a group of trees, I do this group of trees is this much.
Mhm.
Roof line. Depending on how I feel, like what I think they're willing to spend, I'll do either the whole house or the front of the house.
Okay. How many whole houses did you do versus front of the house?
I think maybe 5 of each. So not that many. And then everything else was trees, pretty much.
A lot in trees.
Yeah.
Patrick Walker will love you. He's doing a $1.2 million tree job right now
$1.2 million tree job.
for trees. Yeah. Just
Now
for
they
trees.
look beautiful and they look
Yeah,
amazing.
they look like 1.2 million. I
Yes.
mean, they really do. So.
There's not an inch of the tree you don't see a bulb almost. So.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Very cool, man.
So what do you think? What was some struggles last year that you had to face and overcome?
Lindita, your husband just came by, so if you don't see him for a few hours, he's not here with us. I did everything I could to try to get him to stay, but he's like, I gotta pick up my mom. I can't abandon her. You know, so he chose to pick up your mom instead of hang out with us. Good husband, but
So struggles, I would say my biggest one was just not having enough time to
Get all
do
this
everything.
equipment.
if you had a CRM system, it might free up some of your time.
Yeah, I agree.
What was a fear? What was a fear that you had to overcome, or like a
Fear was-
mindset change that you had to overcome?
Yeah.
My fear was I wasn't gonna sell anything, and my first couple quotes, I was worried that I was way too high on my prices.
Did
And
you sell a job before you bought materials, or did you buy materials first?
bought materials first?
So look, he burnt all the bridges, right? One bridge was burnt for him, and then he said, "I'm gonna do this. I'm scared to do it, but I'm just gonna do it."
I'm gonna go in debt, buy signs. I'm gonna go in debt and buy material.
My man jumped in. That
I'm
is
gonna
awesome.
do it.
Yeah, thankfully it worked out.
Now, how long were you fearful versus then when did it switch to excitement? Or has it yet?
I mean, my first install last year was, I think, the 15th of November.
Okay.
So
Wow,
two
you
weeks
went a
of
month.
November, I
But
was
let's hit on
stressing
that,
out.
right? Because you went a whole month before the November 15th. And this is something that a new person has to understand. A lot of people, you may get a lot of leads right now through Facebook, and you don't know how to sell right now, and you don't know how to talk on the phone. And you know, a lot of these leads are just Facebook leads. And so, you know, Facebook leads are nice, but you're going to get a lot of no's out of Facebook leads. So he went to November 15th, and this is what we always tell you. The week before Thanksgiving, maybe two, that is when it starts. That's when it starts blowing up. There's a reason why we don't tell you to lower your prices at this point, because if you lower your prices, what's going to happen is you're going to get, when the 15th of November comes, he did $55,000 probably within 2 weeks or three, right? November 15th to the end of November. That's probably when
About
he
it, yeah.
made all his money. But if he would have lowered his prices and went with $4 a foot just to try to get some jobs, so I can
Yeah.
have me some jobs, what would have happened is he would have filled up his calendar with $4 a foot jobs, and then you're not making the
Make
money.
no profit.
You're making no profit. You're making no money. And when you do get those high dollar customers calling, you're booked out till the end of the year, and you're not making any money. And so that's why we push, hang on there. Yes, it's still early. Yes, even as of right now, it is way early.
Very
We are
early.
in the early season right now. You know, you might see people saying, "Oh, look at," you know, everybody wants to show how big their thing is, right? Of how much money I mean. I mean, Ken, he's already closed $150,000-$200,000 already. Donovan's already closed $300,000. I must suck. I haven't closed any. No, you're a brand new person. It takes time. It's not something that just happens, right? And so, yes, he can start earlier this year. He can have that $55,000 already put up by when the next $100,000 comes, and then that's how we can make our money.
Lenita asked, what would you do better from first year to second year? He's going to get a CRM system. What else?
Yeah, I think being more confident with my prices.
Well, and you were charging anywhere from $6 to $12 a foot, right?
Yeah,
For
last year
roof
last year
line.
was like 6 to 10.
$6 to $10 a foot first year, right? Okay, so
Yeah.
a little bit more confident on pricing.
Yeah, my mini lights went up a little bit in pricing. I don't know. I mean, honestly, everything they taught me worked out so well that there's not a whole lot I need to change. Some of my processes, it's nice to have in place because, like the way I'm doing it, when
We
it
got to
gets
quit really giving away good quality information so we get more people to pay for our class.
yeah, but when it gets busy, you're installing all day, and then you come home and you have 10 quotes to sort through, and it makes for a long day. But hopefully, I have a little more help this year.
Well, and that's where, as you grow as a business, right, we put people in the place that they're installing.
Yeah.
Because when that goes back to, that's a $20 an hour task versus working on a $100 an hour task, $1,000 an hour task, of getting those quotes out, and that can even be a $20 an hour task, right? If you can put the right person that can just say, do this, this, and this, they're answering the phone for you, they're getting that information and making it happen.
Michael Connor's been doing this for over 20 years, super early. Soon it'll get so busy you won't have time to answer your phone calls, right?
Yep.
So,
And here's the thing about that too, guys. We got a guy right now that took our class last year, and or this year, actually this year, and just by answering his phone, it's a it could be a $200,000 lead. He was the guy called 5 people, and 1 person answered the phone. That's the most important thing to think about. Answer your phone.
how are you going to get some help? Have you figured that one out yet?
I think so. I don't know how much help I'm gonna need, to be honest, but I have 2 guys that can help me most of the time.
Okay.
My wife's gonna help with phone calls and
Some
quotes.
phone calls? Okay.
Yeah, and then a couple other guys who are flexible, I guess.
Hey, do your wife a favor. Get a CRM.
I-
It'll turn her job. And here's the other thing is like, last year you got 70 leads over, whatever. So you're saying, at the end of the day, I have 10 quotes. I've had 10 leads pop in since this morning, right? So year 2, you got 1 referral last year. This year, you're going to get 150 referrals. So you have to be able to be out in the field installing probably. And then your wife, you got to make it as easy as possible because she's also watching a kid. And you got to have a way that she can keep track of all the quotes and stuff like that, and then you guys can follow up.
Right.
This year, what you really got to improve on that you probably didn't last year is follow up. Right? Last year you had 50% of people say yes to you. We're going to try to get that number down by raising your pricing, and you spend more time doing some of the follow-up to office things and less time in the field, and you make more profit. You make good profit, but those would be the things that I would try to look at.
Yeah.
And having some of those systems like a CRM, having something that can hold everybody accountable, everybody's doing the quoting the same. Pricing. Look, if it says it right there in the system, that you're $10 a foot, that makes it easy for either you to price it or me to price it. Like for me, my wife does higher pricing than I do. So, look, if it says it right there in the system, then that makes, I'm not like, if I were to pick up the phone, the client would be like, how much is that? I'd be like $700. My wife, with our CRM system, would be like, no, that's $1,000. So that makes us a little bit more confident in our pricing because we're all doing it the same and we have something to be accountable to. Cool, man.
Yeah.
Happy wife, happy life.
That
Even
is-
if they are crazy. All y'all wives are crazy. All y'all are crazy. Lindita said, for my birthday, I want to come up there and hang out with Donovan and Lauren, mainly Lauren, and do business. For her birthday, that's what she told her husband. I want to come learn for my birthday. No manicures, no pedicures, birthday. And Dan makes the bucks, and he says to Lindita, which don't tell us my wife. He's like, you can do whatever you want for your birthday. It's your special day. Like I don't even think I bought my wife a birthday present in 10 years. But and she comes up here and says, I want to learn about business. So you are crazy. Good for you though. Good for you. Words of wisdom. Closing out.
I mean, I don't want to tell people to go for it, but if you're, I don't know, I guess go for it. I don't want to lead anyone astray, but it worked out really well for me.
Do you have any favorite books, or you read books or anything like that?
I'm not much of a reader. I
Come on,
should.
man.
All he did was
Audiobook.
he watched like
He
3
just
YouTube videos, maxed
made
out his
55
card,
grand.
and then 50 grand fell in his fell in his lap. So he's saying, don't read books, don't get a CRM, put out 10 yard signs and watch 3 YouTube videos, and you'll be successful.
We're gonna have all kind of haters on this video right here. The hater Gatorade is gonna come out like no other on this here.
That's not my advice.
But it worked. It worked.
Oh man.
Awesome.
Would you do it all over again?
Absolutely, yeah.
Knowing what you knew now, do you wish you would have done it sooner?
Yeah. I do.
How old are you?
31.
31.
How excited is your wife about it?
I think now she's excited. She was very skeptical at the end, especially when I purchased the lights with no jobs. She was very supportive, but I'm sure
Yeah.
she was freaking out.
It's good to have a good cheerleader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now you got a cheerleader in your corner?
Yeah.
This year, look, between you and me and the wall, getting your wife in the business, it can be very stressful on that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
It is because it's so much all at once, and you're going to try to grow, and you don't have all the systems figured out, you don't have all the help figured out. It will be stressful, just know that going into it. And just make sure you and her are still that 100% team. I mean, I would say that that's common for
It can be really hard.
99% of
Yes.
couples. It can be very, very tough. So just know that this year, right? Because you don't want her to get burnt out and then get stressed out and everything. But, what I do is I say, what are the roles? I'm not saying like gender roles, but what are the roles and who's going to fill those roles? And then how can we help each other when, I will say on a personal level. What's
Who
up?
picked up those pallets? What were their names?
What's your name?
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
Hydra. Davis Hydra.
And then Dan Maddox came and got his as well.
Okay.
So that is one thing I would say that may be new this year a little tiny bit. And then,
Make sure you spend date nights. Even if it gets crazy,
yeah.
do some date nights because it will get nuts.
Yeah.
So, and you don't want to be fighting over something stupid. So,
Yeah.
and just remember, she's always right. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. That usually works most of the time.
Deep breath. Sorry, shouldn't have yelled at you. I'll patch the hole in the wall in January. Hey, here's what I did this year: is I sold a job to a jewelry store, and we said, hey, how much store credit would you give us? She got a little bit excited about that, man. So maybe you can go target a few jewelry stores or something, get you some store credit. But awesome, man. Any other?
No, I'm excited for this year. I'll let you guys know how it goes.
Awesome.
For sure.
Keep us apprised. Do something year round other than handyman. Do some, I don't know. Dip your toes in the water. Maybe doing some event or some landscape lighting. Let us know how that goes as well.
All right,
Post in the group on your next few big wins.
will do.
Have you posted in the group before?
Just asking some questions.
All he does is consume free YouTube videos
It makes 55 grand, puts out 15 yard signs.
and doesn't give anything back to the group.
Doesn't give anything back. Well, he did. He just gave
Okay.
he just gave about a 30-minute deal right here.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good one. We'll see you around. Jason and I do have the class this weekend. You can go to clclighttraining.com if you want to sign up. It's not too late. You got the employee only day. If you want to do the employee only day, about $600. You can come for the hands-on portion. Or that's also a wife and spouse or whatever. If you sign up for both days or all 3 days. But tomorrow we're doing hands-on power washing. Saturday is going to be business and marketing and handling the quotes and the real $100, $200, $300 an hour task. And then Sunday is going to be the hands-on portion, the troubleshooting, the how-to. If you can't do it, please don't, rack up debt or anything like that. If you're confident in your ability, we're kind of on the same page. Like, we're not going to tell you to do that, even though we've done it in the past. It's worked for us. Don't feel like you have to. You can do some free YouTube videos, stuff like that. You don't have to come to the class, but I feel like when you're ready to pour gasoline on the fire, that's what the class is. We're not trying to get the fire started. We're really trying to get the people here who are ready to pour gasoline on the fire. So if we can make it, we see you this weekend, great. If not, we'll see you in the next live. God bless. Take care.
See ya. Bye-bye.